Hey guys, welcome back to another JavaScript tutorial. So in the last tutorial we looked at mouse listeners, and in this tutorial I'm going to be looking at keyboard listeners, and just going to be showing you guys how to use them and why would you use them. So yeah, it's going to be quite simple. Let's just do this, and yeah. So for keyboard listeners, like unlike mouse listeners, you don't really need an element to click. Like, you can pretty much just listen to the body, because if you think about it, like, you're not really going to be clicking on an element and then typing in it unless it's a text field. But in that case, I'm pretty sure it's already I think it's already like doing it for you. So in his, like, it's already handling all of the text typing for me, so I don't need to worry about keyboard listeners for that. You mainly actually use it, I've actually mainly used it for games and things, so if you're building a game then you might want to use a keyboard listener. But anyways, let's just put something here just so we can display something, and let's just give an idea of div1, and let's just put some content inside of there. Alright, so let's just give this a style, div1, let's have height of 1000 pixels and width of 1000 pixels, and this time let's go for a background color of teal. Alright, so this is our div, and now let's attach a keyboard listener. So yeah, like I was saying, you don't actually need to attach it to the element, we can just attach it to the document's body. So document.body.on key, and then you'll see there's actually only two main ones, there's key down and key up. So if we go onto those, take in our argument like that, and actually I'll come back to that later. For now we'll just handle any key, and let's just make a reference to div1 over here. Div1 equals document.getElement by div1, and if I'm referencing elements, I also forgot to even link it. But yeah, if I'm referencing elements, I need to use a defer keyword. So now we have div1, and I can just do on key down div1.style.background color is equal to, and let's just have green. Okay, so now let me choose a different color which is easier to see. Okay, so now when I click a key, you can see it changes color just like that. So yeah, and when I let go of a key, it doesn't actually change back, so we can fix that by using the on key up feature. So on key up, and then we can actually change it back to teal when it's on key up. So now I can just click it like this. Okay, so that's good, but that's not too interesting. Like, we could probably achieve the same thing in CSS or something, so that's not too interesting. On key down actually becomes interesting when you take in the event. So let's just console.log this event and see what we get out of it. So right now, if I click something, let's just click the A key, we get a keyboard event, and you can see that we have the key code and we have the key that was pressed. So usually I go for key, but if you're doing it professionally, then you should probably look at the key code, because the key is a string, so obviously it could be a bit confusing. And yeah, I'm not too sure why they have all these X and Y coordinates, because it's literally a keyboard. But you know, like, sure. And yeah, so basically the only thing we're really interested in is the key that was pressed. So let's just go over to here and let's just get a variable. So const key pressed equals e dot key, I believe. And then what we can do is we can actually set this text to the key press. So let's do div1 dot inner text is equal to, and then you pressed key press like that. So you can see when I press keys now, you can see it's actually changing. So if when I click A, it's like that. And I'm actually just gonna put some h1 tags, or just make the font a bit bigger in here. So let's just make it font size XX large. Font weight, let's make it bold, just so we can actually see this. Okay, so now I can click any key, I can just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like this, and yeah. And you can also see that it has special words for special keys, like space is literally just a space. So you can't actually see anything here, but there's actually a space there. And if I click escape, it's actually going to say escape. Shift, it's going to do all of this. And yeah, so I can also use the arrow keys just like this. And yeah, you can just basically get whatever key you want. So one thing you should actually know while if you're making a game using this, is there's actually a slight delay. Like, you can't really notice it when we're doing this, but if you're doing something like you know, just pressing down on the key, and there's actually a slight delay when it starts repeating. So if you have, say, W to walk, you press it the first time and it walks, but then there's actually going to be a slight delay. And I wonder if I can actually show you that delay by doing this. So we have our thing, right? So I click A, and then you can see that tiny delay, and then it starts repeating. If I click space, and then see after the first one there's a small pause, and then it starts repeating. So you actually don't want that in games, which is why you sometimes use a technique where you just store the keys which are currently being pressed and then take them out of the storage when they get pulled up. But yeah, that's the topic for another video, because it's not too tricky to implement, but it takes a bit of time. So yeah, I'll just do that later, but for now just know if you're making a game, there's going to be a slight delay when starting to repeat, and that's actually just for the typing experience, because if the key starts repeating straight away, then there'd be a lot more double types, things like that. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a future tutorial. Bye.